Good morning, everyone. My dearest ones, I sure hope you all are doing well. It's always a pleasure, and I'm always humbled talking with you in this pursuit of wellness and the regaining of God consciousness. Yeah, because that's what this gig is about, is regaining the health of the human physical body, the health of the emotional body, the health of the mental body, and the control of the mental body. Remember, the mind controls creation, and that's what you see. The human mind is so immature and out of control that the ego obviously becomes accentuated. You see it in government, you see it everywhere. And so the process of gaining your consciousness back. Yeah. So we'll work more on that as we go through here. Right now we're fixated on getting to Wellville and working our way down that road. You guys are doing incredible work on yourselves, on your family members. I'm telling you, this is such an incredible movement. You guys have done well to ride the bumps through all this. Remember where you're at. You're on a rock spinning through space in one of the most inert parts of creation there is. And here the karma abounds, boy. Whew, the pendulum swings real low down on the bottom of the pendulum and real far both ways. The closer to the Godhead, the less you see the dramatic shifts of positive and negative, of course. Now, I want to tear into this, and then we're going to do a separate video here on eyes. I'm getting a bunch of your eyes there. We'll do our very best to tear them up for you, time permitted. Now, you got to love this. I can't I forget who wrote these. They didn't give me, told me who drew these, but I love this one. Take a look at this. People are always asking me about fish oil. Fish oil. I need to have my fish oil. I love that one. Meat juice, fresh goop, superior health food fit for human consumption, fish oil. You know, people always tell me, I got to have my omega-3s, omega-3s. And there's so much propaganda out there. What about the 6s and the 9s? Most fruits and vegetables have plenty of your omegas, plenty of them. If you feel you need more, go to coconuts, go to avocados, go to those pignolia nuts, pine nuts, where we find the high oils, or fatty acids. That's what's essential, is fatty acids. I've never cared for fish oil, and yet people get on my case. You don't recommend fish oil? No. Evening primrose, flax, something like that. I love this. Causing controversy corner. Whoever did this, I love them. I love them. This is good. This is good stuff for me. Because I'm not the supplement king. I got rid of that so many years ago, and let me tell you, I've never been happier since. I've never been more happy digging in and diving into the world of the botanicals. There's nothing more fun than to understand and learn herbs and how did God do it? What kind of herbs can we use? You know, the herbal kingdom is like a candy store for those that want to help people get well. And without the side effects of pharmaceuticals, that's got to die off. Can't keep killing people to get them well. that isn't in the mix. Oh, man. You have to laugh sometimes because it is horrible out there. I mean, these people and what they're doing to them. I'm telling you, it's just horrible. You know, if you don't try to find some semblance of joy here, you're going to break down crying. It's so bad. Save and turn freeze. Why would I want to work in a shopping complex? The only replenishment from nature is my boost juice, raw juice. Let's see, job apply within. That was an interesting one about something about working in a mall and not having, I guess, what was it? Juice, not Juice King, but boy, Orange Julius. I remember those Orange Juliuses. Om, nom, let's see. Sense to sight, visual art. Oh my God, he's only eating fruit, mutant. Yeah, it shows a lady eating a bowl of Chinese, a box of Chinese food, a cappuccino, and her husband or her family member eating a watermelon. You got a bunch of these. Pretty cute. Human pH 7.4, soft drink pH 3, and battery acid pH 0.8. Now we're waking up the dead. You know, I love this. You guys, oh, you guys are beyond good. Skeleton stripper. I tell you, I just love whoever did these. These are just incredible. You hit it right on the head. There's nothing like ripping calcium out of your body with Coke. Coke will take the calcium right out of your body, right out of your teeth and everything else. But, oh, we're nitrogen prints, right? Nitrogen sucks calcium out of the body. Oh, but we have osteoporosis. The medical doctors are so up and down and up and down. You got to give them, I feel for them. Imagine spending all your life and waking up to being a medical doctor and realizing what you've missed out on. Bartering direct. This guy's picking apples from a tree and he's bartering with God directly. Buying commercially box of apples. Yeah, I think I'll take the tree. But we all can't have the tree, unfortunately, unless we would. Governments build greenhouses would work. On the way to the office, box lunch, bagels, coffee. Cute stuff. Cute stuff. Cute, cute, cute. This is Flow Fly. I'm just in that mood. I had all weekend, I worked my butt off. I tell you, we moved 2 big houses full in 2 days in the rain. Oh my God. And I kept up with those young guys. They even quit, and I'm just working right past them. I have constipation for 14 years now. Holy crap. Now I am 26. So, you've had constipation most of your life, dear one. And I live just with enemas. Holy crap. I need a solution. My mail, flowfly27 at yahoo.com. I need a different solution because I tried all that I heard. Well, couple things. If you've been that constipated and you're 26, there's no question that the adrenal glands are probably involved with you. So that's your autonomic nervous system. So I'd definitely be taking a glandular, especially with the 26-year-old people being so weak genetically. I would get on, they say, adrenal 160s. By the way, we are getting the special glandulars, totally guaranteed. Of course, we've been using Atrium, which is your organic New Zealand beef, humanely dealt with. I've been studying a lot about New Zealand. Was going to move there for years, and I thought, you know, since Eileen and Mutt liked it over there, it must be good. So I really tried to move over there a couple of times because I love the way they treat their animals and everything else. So we sell a product like that, but we've been kind of bumping along with Standard Process, trying to get them to commit to being organic and all that, and they won't commit, so we're dropping them. But we've got another source of fresh direct, so it'll be good. But 26, that's the nervous system, and I want you to also think you're going to have to get up. I don't know where you're at on that, how often you move your bowels. I mean, we have some women that don't move their bowels until they menstruate. We have, I told you, a Northwest airline pilot that moves their bowels every 15 to 45 days. And these people are dead animal eaters. Nasty. But we've got 5 formulas, and outside of my number 5, you're into a laxative. Sometimes we have to borrow Richard Schultz's laxative or something to add to ours, and I just hate doing that. You shouldn't need that. I don't know where you're at on that, my friend, but if you don't move your bowels but every week, you're going to need number 5. And I would also use the brain and nerve formula up on that. In time, I would try to get on the GI broom and really start pulling and cleaning on there, because you could be impacted. You lost your peristalsis, probably from the weak autonomic, which would be common, and work on that way. At the same time, work on the kidneys, work on the lymph, because remember this, when the lymph system starts getting stagnant in the body, what happens in an acidic medium? In an acid medium, what happens to solutions? That's right. they coagulate, they dehydrate, and they solidify. And this is part of the problem. At first in the pH, they break apart. Then they do the opposite. Whoop! Everything's about pHs, remember that. Even though we don't need to know that, just in the back of your mind, know that. But work that way and see if that'll work for you. If not, there's a million other ways. We got a lot of ways, so you might ask them to call and help you here. Oh, I like this eye here, Nora. Nora List, look at that. The eye. I like that, dear one. If lymph stagnation is systemic, why do we only experience pain at certain points in the body? Good question. I think we always experience these things in our weaker areas. There's no question about that. And sometimes systemically we don't feel the acids don't hit the nervous system. You could have tumors growing all through you and not even know it neurologically to where you wouldn't know you have pain. But you can have, a lot of people have tumors in them, cysts in them. I mean, that's common. You probably cut open the average person and you're going to see tumors and stuff. So always where you have your weaker areas. Jensen said the same thing. He felt that always in the genetically compromised areas, you also had a compromised blood and lymph flow. You see that in about blood, but you definitely see that with lymph in the eyes. And I'll show you that when I come to one of these eyes. And I think I tried to show you that in the last one, where you see a lot of lymph around a lesion or around a lacuna or around a crypt or around whatever you pattern. Well, I was going to tell you, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking, I like the word fiber patterns. I do. I think when you get into lacunas, okay, crypts, okay, you know, those names are kind of, but fiber patterns are more simplistic, I think, to the point. So you can have all levels of fiber patterns. I like the word. The straight fibers are strength, and fiber patterns show the weaknesses. So, but yeah, and you'll find this, and you'll see this in cancer where you seem to grow a tumor in one area. And I can also tell you that I can't always answer that question 100% why a woman gets a tumor here, but you'll find that she's backed up in other places. The lungs are inflamed, and just a little radiation there then throws the lung into lung cancer. And it's easy to see when you do chemo, then you start seeing your cancers popping up everywhere. The chemo probably didn't burn those cells this quick. It could have, definitely, but I will say they're all probably in the process of becoming atypical because of acidosis and systemic lymph stagnation. But it's definitely a systemic problem. You see it all over the place. In other words, when you see a tumor in a woman's breast, you can understand that she's got lower back and kidney. You're going to see swelling in her neck, but you'll see it on one side versus another side. That's for sure. If you start to look at the kidneys and realize there's a kidney on each side, and you see, we talk about this all the time. We see these cases where most of the problems are on one side versus another. You can have one side of your body systemically pretty good on, and you'll see this in the eyes too. We'll get them, I'll show you that, where one eye looks really lymphatic up and the other eye don't look so bad. You see this constantly, and of course that shows that's back confirming that one side's filtering over another. Well, wait a minute. If systemically the body dumps its lymph into the inferior vena cava, why would you have one half of the body having problems over another half? You know, you just, and of course I understand the right and the left and all this stuff, but you know what? Bottom line, kidneys, 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 and you'll see that on one side of another. Like a wrist, knee, or ankle are not always at the same time, even at no point. I know, it's weird that way. I don't know. You know, I just can't tell you. Weaker areas over another. Of course, each side weaker than another. Absolutely. Dr. Morse, I am 5'1", and my normal weight is 96 to 98 pounds. Little thing. Right now I weigh 82 pounds and I can barely walk. I'm suffering a neuropathy through my whole body. That is the breakdown of our nervous system. Now, what would cause neuropathy? What would cause the breakdown of the nervous system? Well, if you thought medically, you could say blood sugar. Now, so let's look at this for a minute. Okay, let's say that you're a diabetic and you have neuropathy. Do you think a lack of metabolism of glucose causes the neuropathy? I doubt it. If you're still metabolizing and getting carbon to cells, you're not going to, as long as you get ATP to cells, you're not going to see any cell decay, whether it's neuropathy or any other cell augmentation. Really, we're going to look to acidosis. So when you see a diabetic, what else do you see? And why do they have blood sugar problems? Diabetes is just a disease they like to play with. Let's call sugar metabolism problems. What's up? Adrenals, right? What do you see with the adrenal glands? The kidneys, because they sit right on top of the kidneys. Then what do you see with the kidneys? The lymphatic system. When we blame on diabetes, you'll see the gangrenes, you'll see the neuropathies, you'll see the loss of, you'll see all the lymphatic problems. Why? Well, because it's those organs and glands that are involved in that process, and you can see multiple symptoms, not just blood sugar problems, because how many steroids does the adrenal glands produce? Over 50 of them. How many neurotransmitters? Absolutely. So you've got all these components that are affecting all these other systems, and you could have multiple problems only linked to one area, the adrenals. So, you know, it's just a fun, and we'll play with that as time goes on, linking different systems to symptoms to different glands. It's just that simple, you know. I'm suffering neuropathy through my whole body, and I know I need to seriously move lymph and detox. Boy, do you do. I'm right on with you there. Shine, love, light, shine. I love your logo. Love it. Definitely. Shine that light, baby. Move lymph and detox to save my life. But would it be safe for me to lemon juice or water fast for a few days if that might drop my weight below 80? Weight isn't what kills you. It isn't weight. It's absorption of nutrients and starvation and things like this that can get you. So you got to try to open that doorway. GI broom, lymphatic 1 capsule, stomach and bowel number whatever, and start pulling and drawing on that mucosa of the gut. At the same time, you're going up with the adrenals and the kidneys to get that lymph filtering through the kidneys, get these acids out. I would definitely do the brain and nerve number 2 to start strengthening the myelin sheaths. I'd definitely hit the adrenals with an adrenal cytotrophin, bring up those adrenals, get more neurotransmitters turning on the myelin sheaths again. At the same time, you know, probably malabsorption. Check my pancreas and liver, make sure they're clean. Part of the trunk there of the tree, remember? The tree, the trunk, and then you got or on your side, you would have the liver over here and the pancreas over here if you were looking at the tree. But I feel like I would die. Please, Doc, I need your help. Well, here's what you could do then. Shift your diet. Got to shift your diet to a raw food diet. At least 80% raw food. Pump some God's blend, pump some superfood blends, and do that for a couple of weeks. The problem is you get in a catch-22, and you can't have one without the other. You can't have weight. And we have another lady that her mother, you know, I understand her mother's situation, but this poor thing's been through hell and back, and she definitely, I can see she's malabsorbed. She's pretty much on top of her problem. Her mother calls her anorexia. She's 20, you know, upper 20s. She wants to put her in have some psychologist or psychiatrist help her, and it's like, please, they all need help themselves. You know, it's like this lady's malabsorbed, and we all have to get and understand malabsorption because we have a serious lymphatic problem in our world. Serious kidneys. We did not get away from karma. We did not get away from eating dead animals and high-protein diets thinking that's good for us. This is all partly medical and everything else that's come down these tubes that promotes, yes.
Okay, you're free and clear. You're 10. She got the time messed up and rescheduled.
Yeah, do you reschedule her?
Yep, so you have over an hour.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Thank you. Got to do a bit of rehydrating today. God, man, I worked my tail off for an older guy. Older, I said. But anyway, you can't freak out with that. Your raw fruits and berries and melons have the most nutrition of anything. If you pump some God blend on the side, heck, you're getting more nutrition than any animal by 1,000 times. But are you digesting it? Are you absorbing it? Ooh, are we utilizing it? See how we get all complicated? And then are we eliminating the byproducts and the waste from doing all those processes? See, it's only 4 processes: digestion, absorption, utilization, which is hormones and steroids, and elimination of waste, both digestive and cellular, and of course parasitic, because you always have to have parasitic action in a sewer system. Hello, medical community. So, very important. You got to open up your doorway. You got to open up absorption. If you get a little thin, you're still pumping. I've had them way down there, but we got them back. So it's not about the weight. It's about absorption, utilization. You got to go after those things no matter what happens with your weight. Because if you're trying to keep on weight, which is definitely going to be your pastas, going to be your starches, because you don't want to do your proteins or down, you'll never get well, ever. Try doing a high-protein diet with neuropathy. See what you think. You know what you think. Not going to work for you. So you really got to get down to the fruits and the berries and the melons and the salads. If you put weight on starches, that's all acid, too much sugar, high fungus, and then you're down a whole nother road. There's no other road. I've looked at all the roads. Which one you want to walk down? And you can't get your lymph moving unless you do a fruit, berry, and melon diet. So it's just so much. You can use the herbs to help you, though. So you might be able to use herbs to help you and still do maybe a little more coconut and things like that on the side. Pine nuts, avocados, maybe sustain the weight. But you can't worry. There will be. You won't just keep losing. There'll be a point where the body just is at. Unfortunately, the average person doesn't understand that, and that becomes complicated, especially if you're under age and you're at home. I mean, it's just all complicated, but that's why it's so important that you guys are doing what you're doing. You're getting knowledged up. You're understanding that. You guys are working as a team. I love working as a team. We're more powerful as a team, and we can help people. You just got to realize, and a lot of you healers out there are coming across this. We are seeing heavy malabsorption in today's world. We're seeing chronic adrenal glands, chronic kidney filtration problems, chronic lymph, chronic degenerative bowels, chronic glands. I mean, look around. It's serious. And that the average person just has no friggin' clue. Boy, is today the day that we have a United States or not? We're going to know today or tomorrow whether we have a United States of America or not. If the Supreme Court votes that the government can mandate you to pay in health insurance, we don't have a United States anymore. We don't have a Constitution anymore. Therefore, we need to impeach everyone and get the Supreme Court justices off the bench. They're too old. They forgot what freedom is about. And even if there's a 5-4, you have 4 Supreme Court judges thinking that the Commerce Clause grants the government the right to make you buy health. I mean, we have serious problems here. That's a decay of the human of the America right there. The Supreme Court holds the key. I say fire them all if they don't understand that. This is B-R-A-N-D-I, Brandi Long. Hello, new subscriber to your YouTube. Hey, welcome, my friend. Though I have been watching a month or two. Oh, thanks. Thank you so much for sharing this with them. Well, thank you for tuning in, my friend. I appreciate your time as well. I wish more people I know. I have tried to help several family members out with some of this knowledge. Well, you see, that's tough. I had the same problem, and we don't give up. I'm just telling you guys, don't give up. This is how you learn your badges right here. Even if you get turned down, you get slammed. Sometimes you get slammed bad. Get up and dust yourself off and keep walking and holding your head high. You've got a knowledge few have and most need. So you've got to hold your head high. You know truth. Stand up for it. And just Talk with authority. Talk with knowingness, because you know the truth here. We do try not to give anything out that's not that way, but you never know. And I could see them immediately back away from it. You know why? Because it means change. And the average human is so, you know how you get down here? Some people just hate change. Well, governments like those. You know, people like those because they're easy to control. You get them in a groove and they're stuck, you know. So, but that's a problem. It means change, radical change of diet. And people just don't suffer enough yet. You notice how you have to suffer here a little bit before you change? I can vouch for that. It tears me a new limb up one side and down the other. Finally, what do? What's the bottom line in the end that God makes you do? Release, isn't it? Let go. Stop caring so much. Stop desiring so much. Let go. Just let go. Let it go. Doesn't matter anymore. Those are the spiritual ones. Those that just are tearing it up physically, maybe they're not ready to let go of the planet, and those are the ones that need to keep going on the planet. There's plenty of spiritual beings, though, that it's time. You've had your time, your journey, you're tired, it's time to go home, and this is the doorway. So just relax and stop desiring, stop creating, and work all this stuff off, and you'll be free from it. It's frustrating when you have the ability to direct someone to help, but they don't want it anyway. Isn't it frustrating? I know it is. But this is common stuff, and you don't beat yourself up. You're a great soul, a lot of love in your heart for even trying. So my hat's to you. Don't give up. All right? Went on fruits, berries, and melon detox diet. Does this include bell peppers and cucumbers? You could. You could put someone on an all-fruit diet and include the vegetable fruits too. Remember I said according to the National Fruitarian Society, which was back in the 70s, in Washington, D.C. back then, cucumbers, avocados, tomatoes, all those were considered fruit. And I would go with you. That makes a huge bill of fare, huge amount of food. I don't know how anybody could ever starve eating fruits, berries, and melons, especially when you had the cucumbers and the peppers and, you know, all that in there. If you want to juice some greens, okay. Well, you've pretty much got all the fruits and veggies, just you're taking all that heavy concentrated fiber out of the veggies. But then again, the question remains, is that really good for us because we had to do that? Because juicers didn't come with the body. Juicers didn't come out of nature. We had to invent them and make them. Maybe because we went so far out, we had to bring ourselves back in a state of health. We had to get there. Or man wasn't going to give up on eating cow food, and they decided you need to juice them. You see what I'm saying? I mean, we're the ones that are trying to find ways back to where we needed to be in the first place. Or even organic dried fruit. Yes, organic dried fruit. Oh, man, you're talking good stuff. When you're detoxifying, not so much. You know, they separate the periods of time of detoxification and just general living. But general living, you know, all your dates and your figs, but you can have those on a detox too, really. I greatly appreciate the time you take to answer this. Oh, thanks. Let me see. I thought about creating some sort of list. We do have a list coming. Matter of fact, I was going to do that to one lady here. Matter of fact, here's some more eyes to go over. We have a lot of eyes to go over here. And I'm hoping to get Drew in here, maybe spend the last half hour going over some eyes here for you, because we got quite a few. But these are good questions, and listen, I'm real proud that you're hanging in there. Don't let anybody take away your joy or your power there. You know you're on the right thing. Just know you're in a very conditioned world, and souls just are sleeping really heavily a lot of times, and you just have to keep being the Johnny Appleseed. Do it yourself. Plant the seeds. Help those that are your friends and the buddies that are willing. Be gentle. Be balanced. I can just, you know, we've talked a lot about that, and it'll work. It'll work. I come on too strong before, kind of like some of the others here. Come on too strong, and of course people back up, and you know, and I've learned the hard way that way too. That way sort of went. Dr. Morris, let me see. I look forward every evening to your rambling. I love that. This is Kathy O'Callahan. Thank you, Kathy O'Callahan. It is. I know. You know, I got to stop that. That's a sign of age, isn't it? When you're just rattling on. Thank you so much for your information. Thanks, Kathy. You're a good soul, honey. It has helped me to continue to heal myself, and I am able to help guide my two-legged and four-legged friends. Yeah, you've done good with the four-legged friends, Kathy. I do my best every day to spread your thanks, honey. Sometimes complete strangers approach me to help in some way. And that's what you got to do. You got to know, you know, because like in your case, especially when you start opening up your spiritual doors, somebody could come up to you and say one thing that just wakes you right up. Now, was that a master dressed incognito and suddenly that person's gone? Where'd they go? That's how life works. I love that. I love the masters. Yeah. Ooh. Sometimes complete. Exactly. It might just run to the grocery store quick and next thing an hour later, I know. And then sometimes I don't know whether to hand a card or not. I was out eating one day and there was a man with leprosy, really bad, really bad. Tumors to the head, eating out, and really tumored all over him. And I wanted to, finally I just dropped my card off and said, I think I can help you, please call me. Of course he never did, but I couldn't help it. And I've had cases where I walked away and I just, dang, I wish I'd have left a card or so. I never carry them on me anyway. And I just want to say, here, if you need help, I'll be glad to help you. But you never know. It's as if someone else is speaking through me. Absolutely. Could that be you? Could be God. Speaks through me. So if God speaks through me, speaks through you, speaks through everything. Yeah, that's the supreme being. Because I have a bit of tendency to ramble myself. Am I rambling? You're rambling, Kathy. Sorry. Love you, dear. I know someone sends you a picture, but lucky for you, I don't know how to attach one because it might frighten you. Kathy, I don't get frightened that easy. Gosh, there's so much stuff here. I could spend 2 or 3 days doing this. Well, I've set this up to where I am. I'm going to dedicate Thursdays to you guys. This is Lindy, L-I-E-N-D-E, Hitchcock. Dr. Morris, I've asked this question a couple times. I want to understand acupuncture. When I go, I usually do feel better right after, but it's never cured anything for me yet. Does acupuncture get rid of health issues and so on, or just cover it up to come back later? They tell me I need more visits to get results. I understand that, but the visits cost, and I'm wondering if I'm wasting my time and money or if I really should give it more of a chance. Thanks. Linda Lou. That reminds me of, wasn't that the Grinch? Linda Lou. Well, I think when you look at the difference in modalities, naturopathy, Benedict Lust took naturopathy to the Congress and got a congressional approval to make naturopathy one of the 4 basic healing arts of this country. I still have that paperwork. Now, that's going way back, yet states fight naturopathy, and Congress, you know, took a look at it and said it's a fine healing art. Well, obviously it's the one that doesn't kill anybody, and so is homeopathy. Homeopathy and naturopathy are 2 great healing arts, although I don't consider homeopathy a healing art. I consider it a treatment-based system like allopathy. They're not true curative modalities, but dang good at it. Homeopathy should set at the top of treatment-based thinking. It just is by far the best. Beyond all these other systems in treatment-based thinking, naturopathy by far is the only curative system out there. It's the only system that cures because it takes into account causative factors. What's causing the problem, not the symptom. What's causing the symptom. If you don't address that, you're not a true curative modality. Well, the only way to what's causing the symptoms takes you right back to acidosis, lymphatics, even alkalosis. I don't care, whatever side defense you want to get on. It's still these problems. And so you'll find that this system we're talking about is the real core of healing of all systems worldwide. Things like chiropractics, love them, raise my teeth with them. Therapeutic though, massage, therapeutic, acupuncture, therapeutic, physical therapy, therapeutic, on and on and on. These are therapeutic modalities. Great for in the moment. But you have to go back and understand, like in chiropractics, what's pulling out the skeletal system, muscles, what's controlling muscles, lymph. You know, you go back to that whole thing where kinesiology, now you're seeing chiropractics enveloping the understanding of the lymph. And we have a ton of chiropractors doing detoxification now. Now, the other side of that is allopathy, treatment-based system, but not a good one and a very high killing one, and yet we're considering that our healthcare system, our predominant one, and it can't continue that way. This is all insanity, and it's all ridiculousness. It's actually crashing economic systems around the world. How many of you owe a lot of money to medical doctors from past bills and you got no remedy from it? Lots, tens of thousands of dollars. Now, we're perpetuating that system. So acupuncture is like therapeutic touch, like anything else. Remember, this is about obstructions to the flow of energy. And if you said the bottom line, the simplistic line of disease is an obstruction to the flow of energy, whether it be blood, nerve, or lymph. Blood, nerve, and lymph are the three main energy flows of the body. The main blood flow is the energetic flow of nutrients to the cell, carbon and oxygen specifically, but other nutrients, no question. Lymph, the energetic flow of elimination, essential to keep that flow moving because we're all a product of that becoming stagnant. So that's a big deal. What about nerve flow? Thing that controls everything in the body. Little thing like the electrical department, I do like electricity. So real important. Without that, you're not breathing, your heart's not pumping. Little simple things like that. So really important to understand that when you have blockages in the body, they block the flow of some energy flow, either blood, nerve, or lymph. Right? Now, when that happens, we can argue what is obstructive to the body, but I think you're going to find protein is always at the top of that. Proteins are the most obstructive substances on the planet. They're acidic, they're obstructive, and they set up an anionic medium, which is a dehydrated, coagulated medium. And I think we can concur with that theory, because that is one of the top theories in chemistry, is that an acid medium creates an anionic environment, and that an alkaline or a base medium creates a cationic environment. Even though acids create a catabolic process, but your alkalis can do that too. A lot of your digestive enzymes are alkalis. So it's almost too much to get into, because there's a point you leave into theories and you can go down these intellectual roads. Obstructions, mucus. Mucus from the mucosa is probably the most obstructive issue we have, and the mucosa's response is predominant to proteins, all types of proteins, from all types of plants and everything else, pollen, all kinds of things. However, in a clean environment, these things are carried through and eliminated well. In a coagulated environment, you've developed obstructions. First obstruction generally in the human body is the flow of lymph. And that's because of the high protein diets and their damage upon the eliminative organs. Look at the two prime eliminative organs, and they're constantly having cancers and problems with them. And that is the GI tract and the kidneys, the urinary tract. GI tract, urinary tract. Those are the two primal areas where man's failed. These are the two areas where all the chronic and degenerative issues are. These are very serious problems, very serious. So the kidneys are the focuses of the lymph flow, and when you're not filtering well, you become obstructed. Well, mucus, and that's what you see coming out. Remember, read books from Arnold Ehret. I think it'll be very helpful, because we noticed that in detoxification, what did we see coming out? Mucus. And now we can breathe. Oh, look, you can smell again. Oh, look, you can hear better. Obstructions. Well, we have massage, we have acupuncture, we have therapeutic touch, we have kinesiology, neurolymphatic points. We have all types of therapeutic modalities to assist us with obstructions. But naturopathy is the true core of healing that removes these obstructions physically. And we've had this conversation before, and I've had it before with a lot of healers. Unless you physically remove the obstruction, it is still an obstruction. Yes, we can stop the immune response through treatment-based thinking, through allopathy, or through homeopathy. Better to stop an immune response through homeopathy, but I still don't like that part of homeopathy. An example, if you're poisoned with quinine, as I was, the antidote is to take these essence of quinine to develop an immunity so the body doesn't have a histamine or an immune response. Okay, but then that means that this toxin is still in you, and it's still chemistry, and it still bonds with other chemistry, creating radical chemistry. It still is a neurotoxin suppressing the nervous system. See, so you really have to detox to eliminate these obstructions. However, when you're in pain or you're suffering from these obstructions, because pain is a result of obstructions. You can call them acidosis because most acids are obstructions in what we're dealing with in our course here. So, it's just understanding that acupuncture is not curative, not meant to be. It is meant to relieve symptoms. That you're supposed to use these type of therapeutics, color therapy, hydrotherapy, water, acupuncture, massage, chiropractics. All these therapeutic modalities are all beautiful. They're great. They're if you've got good practitioners. This is where the other problem is the practitioner. You always, each one of you lovely people, should always seek to be the best you can be at whatever art you are. I'm one of those guys that know a little about a lot, but I like to be the best I can be in a couple of those arts. And this is the one we try to be the best we can in. You try to be, so people respect you, because in this world, it's the only way we're going to get anywhere is to gain respect. You're not going to get respect going off and being nuts and crazy. You're not going to do it. And being out of balance does not gain respect. We must gain the respect of man, not of medical doctors. Who cares? Those guys won't respect anything. They're too narcissistic. But we want people to respect you for who you are, a balanced God person that is bringing out information that this world is craving, this world is starving for. We've been trying for years, but we're blocked. The negative forces don't want to free you quite yet. Well, they're going to have to step aside, aren't they? So you get the best you can be in your art, and that. No one can ask for anything more, because it's always good to go to a good practitioner. Always seek to understand why things happen. The why word is always good. There's a point where you need to stop that why, because now you're being ridiculous, but the why generally takes you to a wall and there's nothing else. So in acupuncture, only use these things when you need them to relieve pain or swelling, but always remember that you must physically go in, detox, and remove these obstructions, be it mucus, be it proteins, be it neurotoxins, excitotoxins. I don't care what you call them. Maybe someone swallowed a watch. Matter of fact, we had a big mental health facility out here, and I worked at one of the hospitals, and this one guy, we had an x-ray of him. He had knives, forks, all kinds of stuff in his gut. I mean, it's amazing to see the x-ray. Yeah, I don't know how to put this one on this so I can help you guys, and I'm going to have to get to some of these eyes, or maybe I'll do the eyes tomorrow morning. keep going down with these questions. Under Current 8187, hey young man, this is Liam. I know you probably get dozens, if not hundreds, of messages a day from people who are looking for answers, or at least your opinion on certain things. I have only recently discovered your... Oh, thanks, my friend. Well, you know what? I'm going to try to get to you all as much as I can. And if I don't get to you, ask again. Don't get mad. Just ask again, and I'll get you. And if you really are in serious trouble and you need help, you call. I was wondering if you had insight or any advice regarding bone spurs. I had a bone spur on both of my feet, top of my feet, from repetitive trauma. I am doing my best to relieve the area. Rest as much as possible. However, my specialist is pushing for surgical removal of these bony lumps. Well, a lot of surgeons don't like to remove them because they grow right back. They only grow right back because of the lymph. Remember, calcium is the body's main antacid alongside the #1 main antacid, which is, that's right, cholesterol. Any lipid can be used as an antacid. Remember, this is why we use castor oil packs, olive oil, coconut oil. Oils can be used as antacids, anti-inflammatories. They have to break up and loose things. This is like Laetrile, B15, 70. So, what this says to me, and if this is your picture, my friend, you've got kidneys, adrenals. You want to get those moving, get those limbs cleaned up in the feet and the legs there. And once you start returning more of a base medium, so to speak, and you won't be pulling calcium out of these areas. But it just shows you're not moving up through the legs and the hip into the kidneys up in that area. And this is common stuff. You can have them surgically removed, but if you keep going, they'll dissolve down. You'll see them getting smaller and smaller and smaller. They'll pull right back into bone matrix, and everything will be nice again because they're coming out of your bones, meaning they're weakening your skeletal structure or connective tissue. So you want to strengthen that, and my guess is they're probably not the only place. Remember, this is a systemic problem. Sometimes we tend to see more pathways north or south. In a genetic world, who knows lymphatically, what's compromising what lymph nodes are under par. This is another scary thing, is lymph nodes, and where are they in the genetic worlds? That scares me to death because without lymph nodes, we're fried. We got serious problems. I don't know what to say. So you can have them removed, but if it was causing too much discomfort, I'll say, and it was going to take too long to dissolve them out this way, then you might want to cut them out by moving your lymph. They won't grow back. I know they are caused naturally by the body in response to pressure and trauma. Well, yeah, anytime you traumatize something, you create acidosis. That's why I told you that ER visits are it's all acidosis, whether it's trauma or dietary related, and it doesn't matter. Trauma creates acidosis. Well, your body's supposed to clean that up and fix that, right? We've talked about that before, especially here lately, that in trauma, who's got to fix the problem? Well, blood's going to keep bringing in the goodies, and most trauma bleeds, right? So bleeding isn't a problem in trauma. What is the problem? Lymph. And those people that have had trauma that doesn't heal, guess what? They're not moving well. And yet others can have the same trauma and they don't have the same problem, do they? It's all about lymph, and it's about the adrenals and kidneys every single time. Those people we have to give steroids to, kidneys and adrenals, kidneys and adrenals. Let me see. I was hoping there was a way to allow my body to take care of it. It will. You got to get 100% raw. Move those lymphs. Moving those lymphs is fruits, berries, and melons, kidneys, adrenals, lymphatics. Clean up the bowels. And thanks, my friend, for that question. Good man. I love you guys. You're going to take care of your problems the right way. Fix the cause. Want a well-built body? Lisa Mounts want a we want a well-built Lisa. Can I just go out and buy lots of fruit, raw food, green leafy food, and drink lots of lemon water to detox my body, and I've been diagnosed with kidney infection? Yeah, you can do. I would. I'd be slamming those kidneys with all that. Yes, right. Slam those kidneys with a lemon juice fast. Slam those kidneys with all those fruits, berries, and melons. Those kidneys will be going, whoo-hoo, I feel good now. And that's exactly right. diagnosed with kidney infection and some other organ inflammation that the doctor's not sure of at this time. I'm waiting for my CAT scan to come back, and then we'll see. Not if it's lymph, you won't. Not if it's lymph and acidosis, you won't see it with a CAT scan, and it could be hurting you really bad. Whoops, I don't see anything. This is in your head. Yeah, right. So, really, this is, again, a systemic lymphatic problem here. And as you see, your kidneys are going, hey, I'm hurting. Help me. That's all this is. Your medical doctor, he'll be a while running around his office, so you get on down the road with what you're thinking. You're right on tune here. I'm waiting on my CT scan. Doctor is suspecting spleen, pancreas, and colon. All right, let's say you had inflammation. Can we slice that word off and call it acidosis? Thank you, it's better. So we got acidosis in the spleen, in the colon. Would we have it in the spleen, in the pancreas, in the colon? Heck yeah, and guess where else we might have it? Why don't you go over to the hepatic side and pick up the liver gallbladder? Because it's all part of the tree. Remember the tree, the trunk, the GI tract? And what's flowing through that trunk and the GI tract and all the other organs and glands? Blood, nerve, and lymph. Blood, nerve, and lymph flows down, around, and all through. Just saying. All my pain is in my left side. Then we just talking about bilateral, one side weaker than another side? Absolutely. And my guess is your left kidney's the one going, owie. On my left side of the abdominal flank, left side is tender to touch. Left kidney, honey. Before they decided to cut on me, I want a second opinion in recovering. Oh, I wouldn't be cut on. Come on. That's walking down a little bit too much of a road, sweetheart. Get yourself on a fast if you're hurting really bad. Get yourself on a grape fast or fruit, berry, melon fast. Get on those herbs. You want to try to get that, because you can't cut all these tissues out. That would be insane. Remember, this is a systemic lymph problem. This sets up systemic inflammation / acidosis. Move those acids out, guess what? No more inflammation. Everybody's healthy and happy. If you have swelling, like hypertrophy, swollen spleen or pancreas, go down to normal. Everything's perfect, honey. You really got to get your detox more aggressive and tear it up with the herbs before I would do anything rash. You need to walk the road to Wellville, not the road to Hellville. This will be the first time I've listened to your videos, and it all makes sense. Well, good. Keep listening, because you don't need to go through all this, Lisa. You can get this out of you, dear. But your lymph system is all through you, all through the wall of the gut, the wall of the pancreas, the wall of the liver, the wall of the spleen. You see what I'm saying? But it goes all the way up, the wall of the stomach, the wall of the esophagus. Oh, look, I'm in my voice box. Oh, look, I'm up in my tongue. You know, I'm up in my neck. Oh, look, I'm up. It's all over. I've been so tired of taking all these prescriptions they have me taking for my stomach problems. There we go. And pain medications, I keep taking the prescription. I still have problems, and if I don't take them, I still have problems. No kidding, because you're not doing anything to fix anything. You're just treating symptoms right now. That's all they know to do. And that's the problem. We have to wake up, because treating symptoms kills us. I mean, you're holding off the inevitable. You got to fix this, sweetheart, and get your stomach cleaned up. That's why there's so much gastroparesis, so much acidosis, killing the nervous systems. Let me see here. Let me see. I know my diet intake is horrible. Well, change it now. Don't bitch when your diet's horrible. Change it right now. I will eat foods my stomach can't tolerate. I do stay away from high acidic foods, so it worries me if I eat any fruit high in... Oh, I wouldn't. I do like apples and bananas, so I'm not sure what to go out and buy as sorts of fruit to eat or raw veggies. Lettuce tends to make me gassy. Because you have inflammation in the pancreas too. So that's not digesting well. Get rid of your... Again, here's another case, sweetheart. You get rid of your veggies right now. Stay on your subacid and your sweet fruits if you want. Your berries and your melons. Definitely. You guys, when you're healers, you see where the foods are here and the herbs are here. We can do so much with the herbs. We can only do so much with the fruit. You know what I'm saying? So we really have to get into these herbs and learn them. If you can't afford them, buy them as teas. I don't care. Get them in somehow. Wildcraft them. Go pick them. find some way to start using herbs, because this is a case where you're going to need to use some herbs. You're going to have to get your kidneys in line, your adrenals, start moving, really get aggressive in the gut here, get on the stomach and bowel, whatever. Probably number one, if you're moving your bowels well, lymphatic 1 capsules, three times a day, and GI broom, rip it apart. Kidneys number one, get to the adrenals. You start cleaning, get your body moving, whatever formulas you make. Understand what you're looking for in formulas. You're looking for kidneys, you're looking for lymphs, you're looking for bowels, and you want to pull and clean and get your lymph moving, or, sweetheart, you might be visiting the surgical line. Kicking butt on your herbs and high fruits diet for 4 days now, feeling fantastic. Go Elizabeth! Woo-hoo-hoo! Question: I see that few of us are mixing melons and berries or other fruit. Sometimes, it's old saying, eat your berries, eat your melons alone or leave them alone, but you can mix them with fruits and berries and not have much of a problem. It's when you mix fruits and berries and melons with vegetables that you have a lot of problems. Fruits and berries and melons, they all digest real quick. I don't put my watermelon on top of anything. I can feel it. That's how sensitive I am. But that's me. But the biggest no-nos are going to be any of the fruits and berries and melons with veggies. They just take too long to digest, and you're just going to pop gas and ferment them and all kinds of problems. That wouldn't be advisable there. And I heard many times that melon should be eaten alone. See how you like. If your body can deal with it, okay. Now, I've had bananas and cantaloupe, and I kind of like that combination. But as a rule, I actually keep my melons separate from my fruits and berries, and I eat my fruits and berries together. I love them that way. I even use a little coconut with my fruits and berries. Melons just digest so fast. Love from London. Yes, Miss Raw Flower. Ooh, nice name. Okay, so I'll say mixing melons. I just have a little short to help you find your way here. Hello, Doc Sunshine. Mwah, Wendy. Hello. Wendy smiling. Oh, man. You know what? It is so beautiful to wake up to happy people, loving people. I tell you, it's like night and day. I mean, all these different arguments and things like, okay, let's get to the real heat of the problem. You guys are so loving. Wendy, you're such a beautiful soul. Thank you, sweetheart. Are there any, and if I, thanks you all for I've got all the oranges, I got the kumquats. Thank you so much for all that. Are there any genetic weaknesses in the body, such as autism or cerebral palsy, etc., that can be made better through this protocol but not healed? First of all, keep in mind that when we say autism, or we're saying cerebral or Bell's palsy, or we're saying cancer, we're saying this is medical doctors' names. They stick names on symptoms where acids are breaking down tissue, whether it's neurological tissue, pancreatic tissue, liver tissue, and of course most of the blame goes to the parasites, of course. None of it really goes to the lymph, acids, or mucus, any of that kind of stuff. But it's funny, when you clean that out, it seems everything goes away. But I personally feel that if you don't, I'm going to use this word cure, even though it's not related to diseases, because that if you drop this ridiculous concept of diseases, your life will go so much better, and you'll be walking down the road to truth and Wellville. Walking on the road to diseases is walking to Hellville, because no one there knows anything. So when you understand that all these conditions are a product of what you eat, drink, breathe, what you put on your skin, and how that interfaces with the cells and the two fluids, and how that articulates itself through genetics. How all this process takes place, weakening the cell generation after generation, little bit at a time, weakening the cell, weakening the flow of fluids, etc., etc., etc. And then just where we are now with that. I personally feel that if you don't cure it, you have it. And I don't live in that world of just making you better. I just don't live there. I want this out of you 100%. Yeah, some things in the genetic stance going to take you a few years. Some people, okay, but you've seen people up and walking at 7 months. I've seen some quads take me a year, but to be honest, so what if it took 2 years? I mean, if you're in a chair and it takes you 2 years to get up out of that chair, okay. Like I said, I have some people I've been working. I've told you that one, Lou Gehrig's, I can't tell you. You know, I don't understand why he's not pulling out of it.
Let's go early.
Oh, okay. All right. That was the boss. Okay. Thank you, Wendy, here, sweetheart. For instance, from birth, can the cells be too damaged or mutated? You know, that's a good question. I have to tell you, boy, I would love these questions. I would love our societies in our world to understand what it's going to take to rebuild humans. But then to start asking these kind of questions so real sharp thinkers can come about. There's some of you guys that are just so sharp. These are the kind of questions I have. Like the lady born without a face. How much can we genetically go in with botanicals and raw and let that body redesign that face? Do we have to do it all through surgeries? Or can we do it through vitality, health and nutrition, because that's the interface of everything. Cells interface with chemistry and magnetics constantly. So we have this whole thing. So I don't think there's hardly anything that can be rebuilt, but I don't know. This is the beauty of you guys and the beauty of our future on this planet in the positive way. Let's see if we can tear it up. What can we regenerate in mutants and stuff? I mean, I'm so excited about all you and all this and research in the future. We need to turn the page. Turn the page. Get rid of the health care. Medical doctors become homeopathists, surgeons, stay surgeons, and get better. ER docs learn a lot more about homeopathics and herbs and bowel cleaning for ERs. Oh man, but the control of the mind and narcissism, this is why I'm trying to break your control of the mind. You break the control of the mind, you're free. Now you can grow. Now you can set things in their proper places. We're lost in thought and desire. And so lost we can't even see truth. The light isn't on anymore. Love your questions. Love them, dear, because this is what I'm thinking too. How far can we take this? I don't know. I mean, when you see a quad who's been in a chair for 37 years, whose spine has extreme scoliosis to the right, his leg fractured at a 28-degree angle, overnight, his back pulling itself straight in his fractured leg, healed for 12 years like this, realigning 2 inches shorter than the other, pulling itself straight. Got the x-rays over here. Fox News, I'll put that show on for you where Fox News filmed it. Now, when you see stuff like that, it's like, oh baby, what can we do here? What can we do? That's exciting. Not what we argue over. What can we do? We can argue over the finer stuff later. Love it, Wendy. Okay. Listen. This is Mr. Hussain Hussein AFZAL. Thank you. You're a beautiful man yourself, my friend. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate your comment. I try to be, and I love you for that, man. Thank you. And this is what we need to be worldwide. Love each other. Let's get each other a hug instead of shoot each other. Let's make ourselves healthy and well. Let's make a utopia here. Even the rich can be rich. Well, who cares? You know? Listen, I have to cut off here, but there's so much. Inga and family, I'll be addressing you next. Taurus 604, what about low blood pressure and having low blood pressure for years? That's your adrenals. Thank you, sweetheart, for your thing. I love you. That's your adrenals. You know, and I know that people are really, even with the glandulars, we're having a hard time with with the adrenals. So, and if you're having too hard a time, think about the pituitary. Pituitary controls adrenals like all the other endos. We need to be thinking about the pituitary if we're hitting the adrenals too hard and nothing's happening. These we got some, and then you got to remember the spiritual side. Are you holding on to something emotionally? Something traumatic happened to you, maybe even in a past life, and you're not aware of, and it's setting right on your adrenals. This is why the spirituality must come in here with those that are having slow progresses, getting their blood pressures up. This is an emotional issue. Your astral body can sit right on your physical emotion, your adrenals, and then you're not going anyway, no matter how hard you hit them. So this is what about giving love, giving instead of taking and holding. Let go. Let it all go. Don't hold things here. No, let it all go. Let your heart be a river of light flowing from God out to everything, everyone, every plant, every animal, every atom. Let you become the light. Become the light itself. That's how you clean out karma. That's how you do it, is you let everything go from all the past. You let the mind, get away from the mind. Don't let the mind take you on this journey. You take the mind on the journey that you want to go on now. And you'll correct all this. Good question. I'm going to put it under chronic low blood pressure, okay? And then, oh man, there's so much. This lady got herself well, getting better and better thanks to videos and answering questions about osteoporosis and arthritis for the mother. Her mother's getting better slowly but surely. Keep going, keep going, keep going. More raw, keep going. She'll get better and better. She's beginning to form muscles and connective tissue. Voila! Sunshine 1974ism. Good deal. Now, another problem is my sister. She is 36 years old and she's sick more than 10 years with vitiligo. Pituitary. Got to go after the pituitary gland. But after some years, she has only some pieces of vitiligo, and now, and also, I hope you're talking about vitiligo here. That's the skin pigmentation changes. Show you right there. She is desperate because the doctors say that vitiligo is for life. I saw all videos that, no, it's not for life. Get up into that pituitary. But something suppressing the pituitary, so transverse colon, got to clean up the bowels to get to the pituitary, believe it or not. Trust me. And then you're going up there with the glandular and hit the pituitary, clean up the colon, get the sinuses drained, get that lymph moving. I would like to please you to explain how she can become, got to work on the pituitary, but I get in the adrenals, get the kidneys, get the GI tract cleaned up, clean up the bowels, real important, because there's a big connection between the colon here, especially the transverse, and the pituitary. This is a good question, though. Okay. Oh, man. Feel a little rowdy today, so forgive me there. But I've been moving my hiney off, and I couldn't hardly walk yesterday. I was so tired. See, now, if I'd have been 100% fruitarian, of course, I still outworked my son, who's 35, 6'4", muscles out the yahongo. I outworked it. All right. I love you all. And you all have a great day. You keep working on the now. Keep working on putting your mind outside. You want to live every moment. I don't care where you live in this world. You enjoy this moment for everything it has. You and life and just breathing and existing and all the love you have for all creatures. And just the oneness. Make the oneness of everything your joy. We got to quit hating each other. We got to start loving each other. Make this oneness of joy, because look how beautiful you guys are, and all these questions just so fantastic. So thank you so much. You all have a fun day, and I will be back with you as soon as possible. We got a bunch of eyes to go over, and then we'll be done. It's a little button in the back. You just push it. Bye-bye. Love you all.